I'm Adam Gross, marketing consultant for Beyond Green Travel, sustainable tourism consulting. We offer expertise in sustainable tourism development, marketing policy, planning, education, and training. We've been active for over 2 decades in over 100 countries worldwide. Our clients include destinations, hospitality companies, national tourism boards, and more. Past and current clients include the National Geographic Society, Virtuoso Travel Network, and the Kenya National Park Service, just to name a few. My prospect today is Felderson Faluzma. He's the operations manager of the Haiti Travel Club. They provide tourism services in Haiti, including vacation packages, backpacking destinations, and tourist counseling. Hello, Mr. Faluzma.
Hello.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, you did. But please call me Felderson.
It's great to meet you, Felderson. I'm Adam Gross. I represent Beyond Green Travel. Here's a business card you can reference throughout our meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you for meeting today, or should I say, merci pour raconter.
Oh, I do you speak Creole?
No more than a few words I just picked up while doing some research on the country. I understand that you are fluent in Creole, English, and French, however.
Yes, I studied French in school in America.
Fantastic. I regret not taking the opportunity when I was at school. That's one of the great opportunities I find with working with Beyond Green Travel is the exposure to new languages and new cultures.
That's one of the great things about being involved in the tourism industry in any capacity.
I understand that Haiti has been growing its tourism initiatives to help the country recover from the tragic earthquake in 2010. I imagine there are a lot of challenges facing a company like Haiti Travel Club during a period like this.
Absolutely. Haiti's economy, infrastructure, culture, and natural environment were all severely affected. It has been a struggle across the board to develop a plan to rebuild.
Now, the Haiti Travel Club must have a lot on its plate in terms of planning, growth, and sustainability. To that effect, I was wondering if you could clarify the decision-making process at Haiti Travel Club in terms of consulting partnerships. Are there any other parties that would like to join us or perhaps meet with me later?
Any potential partnerships are discussed with the board of directors before being pursued. But as the operation manager, it is largely my responsibility to make initial contact and evaluations.
Okay, great. It sounds like I'm in the right place then. I understand that Haiti Travel Club provides tourism packages, destination management, and tourism counseling. Would you care to elaborate on that a little for me?
Of course, we offer a variety of general travel agent services to individual tourists and hospitality companies. We often act as a middleman between the vacationer and the destination, but we are also actively involved in the operations and management of many of our destinations. This could mean organizing maintenance operations, facilitating the construction of tourist infrastructure, and developing tourism policies. We also provide counseling and education to tourists so that they can get the most out of their visit to Haiti.
Okay, interesting. What sort of influence does the government have with Haiti Travel Club and vice versa?
The Haiti Travel Club is not a government organization, but we do work closely with the Haiti Tourism Board to develop policies and manage the tourism industry.
There must have been a lot of competition for resources and capital over the last few years as Haiti rebuilds. How has this affected Haiti Travel Club?
Yes, there has been and continues to be. Haiti has very, very large debt, and government support for sustainability and environmental protection has been scarce. There's also high unemployment and homelessness because of all the people displaced due to their homes and places of work being destroyed.
Now, how has the ecological impact of the earthquake affected your business operations?
There's no doubt that the environment was and still is in a fragile condition. Haiti is an exotic tourist location, and many of our attractions are very sensitive. The earthquake only made it harder to preserve these places and ensure the sustainability of our tourist industry.
Okay. What negative effects has Haiti Travel Club seen resulting from further development whilst ignoring these issues?
Yes, particularly with the cruise ship industry, the problem with the cruise ships is that the tourists do not have quite the same respect for the communities they visit and the natural attractions they encounter. Eating, sleeping, and relaxing on the ship, they are too far removed from the local population and the impact they are having on the environment. The crew of these ships are not Haitian. We are not providing jobs to the Haitian people. It is a very one-sided form of tourism with superficial, unsustainable benefits.
Okay, I understand. Well, Felderson, based on what you've told me, it sounds like the Haiti Travel Club has a need for better resource management, proactive ecological sustainability initiatives, and community integration into the tourism industry. Does that sound like an accurate assessment of the situation?
Yeah, I think those are our most pressing issues, yes.
Okay. Well, I believe finding solutions to these issues would help you effectively, sustainably, and ethically grow your business and the Haitian economy as a whole. I'm confident that Beyond Green Travel can facilitate these solutions. We have a wealth of experience dealing with countries and destinations that have these similar issues. Would you like to explore pursuing a partnership with Beyond Green Travel?
I'm very interested to hear more about the details of your services. So far, it seems like we have a good understanding.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. I agree, and I'm going to progress by addressing the issues we've just established one at a time to give you some information about how I think Beyond Green Travel can tackle them. Does that sound like a good approach?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. First of all, it appears that Haiti Travel Club has a resource management issue. Now, this could be anything from managing government support to managing tools and vehicles used for location management and preservation. Now, Beyond Green Travel normally approaches these through a system of tourism product assessment and materials allocation. And we start with a thorough and dynamic assessment of how each of your business segments is utilizing its resources. That progresses into sort of a study of your resource channels, how the flow of resources is being managed. And then we take that information and we look at how we can continue to develop a plan for leveraging your assets. And we want to leverage them to mutually benefit you, the company, and the environment and the community that you're in. Now, when you're partnering with Beyond Green Travel, that gives you access to our massive tourism network. We have integral relationships with some of the biggest names in sustainable tourism. Beyond Green Travel's president, Costas Christ, is actually the editor-at-large for National Geographic Traveler magazine. And destinations that are partnering with Beyond Green Travel are frequently found in the pages of magazines like that. And that brings about a whole new potential for new lines of funding and global awareness. It's a vast resource. And you mentioned earlier how Haiti's attractions are very sensitive. And would you agree that heightening awareness of the sensitive nature of Haiti's organizations would attract more environmental funding and support?
I would. Haiti is unfortunately not always on top of the list for environmental philanthropists.
That can be difficult. However, it's always important to get your name in the spotlight, especially when your name is attached to a robust plan for sustainable improvement. Which brings me to the second solution I think corresponds to the Haiti Travel Club's demonstrated needs. And before we can even begin to put together a plan for your ecological sustainability initiatives, we first need to do a thorough assessment of the current methods and impacts that the operations of the Haiti Travel Club are having on the environment. And this is really what Beyond Green Travel is best at. We have decades of experience with sustainability assessment. An ongoing service that Beyond Green Travel provides to the tourism industry is our resort assessment rankings. And this is every month a different resort is visited. An assessment is conducted by a representative or a group from Beyond Green Travel, and a thorough report is published. And partnering with Beyond Green Travel gives you access to these assessments on a much more personal and dynamic level. And that's the first step toward establishing a comprehensive sustainability plan. And we understand that such a comprehensive plan does not come over, it doesn't happen overnight. And I understand it can be financially daunting. Do you have any concerns at this point concerning that?
I love the solutions you have presented. I'm impressed with the extensive support network that Beyond Green Travel has access to, and I can only see that benefiting us here at the Haiti Travel Club. However, like I said before, I know we haven't talked numbers yet, but I can't help feeling like such an extensive initiative will cost more than we'll be able to come up with. Like we discussed, resources and capital are hard to raise in Haiti's current economic situations.
I totally understand. And Beyond Green Travel is committed to working with clients from the ground up, starting with cost-effective measures that can set a foundation for future, more extensive development. And your concern for finding the manpower sustainability actually brings me to the final issue we had established earlier. And I'd like to make the point that any sustainability initiative brings with it the opportunity for jobs. And Beyond Green Travel is committed to integrating the local destination communities in the preservation of their own environment. We believe that this is the best way to foster and develop respect and appreciation for natural attractions, while also nurturing and protecting the local culture at the same time. You mentioned earlier how Haiti is struggling with a lack of jobs, and wouldn't it be great if the Haiti Travel Club could provide a variety of employment opportunities to the local communities?
Just like you said, such an in-depth process must be quite expensive. We may not have the funds or manpower.
Right. Well, it's true that sustainability initiatives can be very expensive. However, I think it is important to remind yourself that these are investments in your company, in your country, and your community. There are few investments that will result in as high returns in revenue, tax credits, and goodwill as the services we can provide. And you would be surprised at the benefit even small changes in policies and practices can have for your company. We're committed to working with you from the ground up, starting with our basic, most cost-effective measures. And when it comes to environmental protection, it's often the case that even if the overhead costs are high, the cost of not taking action or not pursuing a plan like this can be much greater. And your business survives only as long as your destination does. So protecting your environment is really protecting your business. Has that helped you to put the cost of sustainability in perspective a little bit?
It has. I do agree that our natural attractions are the driving force behind the tourism industry. Losing them means losing our industry. I'm also encouraged by the fact that Beyond Green Travel can tailor its services to meet budget restrictions.
Great, I'm glad you agree. Beyond Green Travel also understands that sustainability consulting can be a lengthy process. That's exactly why it's so important to get the ball rolling as soon as possible. It's an unfortunate truth that when it comes to a fragile ecosystem like Haiti's, tomorrow just might be too late. The next step in the partnership between Beyond Green Travel and Haiti Travel Club is to begin examining and evaluating current Haiti Travel Club operations. Do you feel ready to take this next step?
In my opinion, we are. I would very much like Haiti Travel Club and Beyond Green Travel to work together. I will of course have to present my report to the board of directors and then a formal decision will be made. But you have my full endorsement. There is a board meeting this Friday. How about we set up a meeting for the following Monday?
All right, Monday it is. That's great, Phillerson. I look forward to that, and thank you again for your time.